it's all about living a good life.
To build a little bit on what Peter was saying, one of the things my mother was very aware of is she wanted all the kids from the center to have a full life. Social lives, she would have dances for them. They
I
went
remember
to,
some little dances.
yeah,
I remember going to them.
yeah.
And they still have them.
And they had a day camp in the summer, and that went on for several years. So she tried to get them as full of life as she could provide. And I still have clients from years ago come up to me and say, "You were my counselor at camp." And so,
Peter Fleming was one of those people.
yes, Peter Fleming was
He was
one.
my sponsor to get into the Knights of Columbus. We're both in the Knights of Columbus.
Yeah.
He's fourth degree, I'm third.
I also was a junior counselor, quote unquote, because they needed to put me someplace and have me do some stuff. So I decided to get a group of kids lost down in the embankment.
I don't know that that's what
That was
they
not
really
the
wanted.
plan that they had in mind, but they were getting rambunctious and I wasn't really good with kids back then. And so I said, okay, let's go on a hike. Well, I get lost in the bathtub, so it wasn't really a good idea to do. So I had like 6 counselors come looking for us.
It was at,
I can pull that off, don't it?
Well,
it was at
not
the
happy.
Pointer Fish and Game Club in Bedford is where we had it. But we used to go take them on camping trips, you know, for the weekend. And we used to go and take them to the library. There was a lot of
Canopy
things.
Lake.
And Canopy Lake, that's true.
Oh, the roller coaster.
Well, Salisbury Beach, I remember those.
Yeah, Salisbury
those especially
Beach,
well. I remember the music park wise we would go on over there. I don't know if they still have them there anymore, but
Don't know.
but I remember one such ride at Salisbury Beach because of the music that was playing when the ride was going. I think one of the songs I remember being played, or I remember hearing, was "Soul Deep" by the Box Tops.
That was a long time ago, Pete.
It sure was that. You be quiet. I get that from her. I don't need it from you.
Well, so am I. Talk about Salisbury Beach and the roller coasters. Again, I was one of the younger ones, and so again they didn't learn the lesson the first time. So they got me with somebody called John Sinclair, was a younger kid, and he liked the roller coasters. Well, I can't stand the roller coasters, but seeing I was the youngest, I had no time. So, okay, Donna, it's your turn. So I said, I don't want to go. And they made me go. I got off and I picked all over everybody. So they didn't make me go again.
That was the end of that, right, John?
Yeah, pretty much.
That was Eddie Sinclair.
Eddie Sinclair,
Yeah.
he was good. I used to like Jacques too.
But they,
As
that
I
was one of the
said,
things that she just felt very strongly is everybody should have a full life.
and something to do, no matter who it was. So we got volunteered quite a bit. I got volunteered for riding on the bus with the kids.
How did that work out?
Oh, well, Mom needed me to do something in the summertime, and we had no babysitter at that time, so she said, you'd be a good bus monitor. I'm like, okay. So I was the bus monitor, and we had one kid that was kicking the back seat of the bus driver seat, and he wouldn't stop. And so I took off his shoes. Nowadays that would be illegal, but you know, back then I didn't know any better. So I took off his shoes, and next time he kicked the seat, he said, "Ow, that hurt." I said, "Yep, it did. I want my shoes." "Nope, when you get off the bus." So he stopped.
Another thing that she established was an after-school program for the kids, and it was all volunteer. I was at Central in high school, and they had an after-school program where the kids would come and we would do crafts and cooking and all that kind of stuff with them.
Yeah, I remember that was one of my last year at Jacques school at the time.
That's why I don't remember it. Okay.
You don't remember that, huh?
Mm.
I guess you didn't have a very good experience over there.
Well, McJarks, yes, I do, but the
Central, Hillside. I think. Did you go to Hillside too?
yeah, but the craft plate thing,
That was on Maple Street.
yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, I think we were on Maple Street then.
Yeah.
And then I forget what the year was, but we moved over. They moved it over to Titus Ave.
Mm-hmm.
I think I used to sneak out and play with the animals that they had there. I used to sneak in too. There was a way you could sneak in.
Mm-hmm.
I remember way back when they had, the center was at a building at Old Grenier Field at the Air Force Base. And then we moved to Maple Street.
Maple
I
Street.
don't remember very
It was
but I remember
an old fire station. And that was pretty much the Moore Center until we moved to, or it moved to Titus
I
Ave.
thought that was the biggest building I've ever seen.
And
I remember Maple Street and Titus Avenue and this other place, where the Moore Center is now, McGregor Street. And that is where I pick up my P&A check.
they also had, at Titus Avenue, it was originally an old schoolhouse that, I think initially they started renting the schoolhouse for like $1 a year or something like that. The city did that. And the center kind of outgrew itself and they put in a new building. At that time we had a school for school-aged children, and we had sheltered workshops. She was also instrumental in starting group homes. And at one point, I think they had something like 6 or 7 of them
No,
around the
they didn't
area.
get up that far. I think they had 5. They wanted 6 or 7.
Except they did have them in other parts of the state. that she
Oh,
was
okay.
part of.
Manchester, I was thinking of.
Yeah, there was one in Goffstown, there was one in Ware, there was one in several different places.
I went to one in Manchester with her for potluck supper. That's where I had my first quiche. They made it.
Would that have been on Orange Street, Donna?
I think so. I think that was their first one, wasn't it, Pete?
I wouldn't know. But I remember, because I still see him at the library sometimes.
Oh, yeah, there was a gentleman
There
there.
when I was seeing Mary Silly, she was on the one on Basic Street.
Right,
And her mother and I still go out to lunch.
yeah,
Mary passed away.
yeah.
I remember doing a reading at her funeral at St. Catherine of Siena Church in the North End. And I did the reading from Wisdom, chapter 3, verses 1 through 9.
Oh, is that what you did?
Yes, that's the one I did the reading for. But I did the same reading for my grandmother's funeral when she passed on, and for Anthony's memorial service at the chapel of the cathedral.
I just wish I had your memory, Peter.
Another thing that she did was pretty kind of grassroots kind of thing, is she got a group together, it was called TARS, Teens Aiding the Retarded, and it was high school age individuals that would come and volunteer their time and put on things like all the social events and the dances and that kind of thing. They're the ones that would take the kids camping and a lot of the other activities. So
I remember.
yeah, she wanted to get all the community involved with the kids. I think part of it stems from, people were tended to be afraid of the people that were different, and so she was trying to get everybody in the community involved, starting, with the younger kids and teenagers, and working through them to get more acceptance. This was before they had, mainstreaming. They don't call it inclusion, I think is what they call it now. But that was something that was very important to her too, is for them to have as normal experiences growing up that the rest of us were able to have.
I just remembered something about that. I was involved in later on in life, a little bit more than when Cherry was younger. We had our girls' night out we used to go to every month. And again, I got dragged along to help out with the counting of the money because I was good with the money. And so there was like a group of 6 of us that would go. Sometimes it was different. Pat Bolio was there and Sinclair, I think was her name. The one that used to be at the restaurant with Pat.
I don't know.
No? Okay, I thought you might. She was there, and a couple of people from the Moore Center went with us. And we had a night of it.
One person, she doesn't live in my building anymore, but she moved.
That's the one I was talking
Pat,
about.
Pam,
Yeah, I can't remember her last name either.
I can't, but anyway, Pam
Yeah, she.
Stratton.
Yeah.
I should remember that name because she has the same last name as my voice teacher.
And anyway, so it was an interesting night out, to say the least. The girls had a hard concept at first that if you don't have any money, you don't get what you really want, you get something else. So we kind of taught them that along the line, and they got to be pretty good about it. Oh, I don't have enough money for that, so I'll take this one. Okay. So, but some of the restaurants that they wanted to go to was Cracker Barrel, and that was got to be pricey, and so it's like, do you have it this year? Oh no, okay, well we'll go someplace cheaper. But that was happening every month. I think it got my dad to be alone for a little bit.
He wasn't alone, actually.
Yeah, you used to come to the house sometimes.
Yeah.
So, but that I remember, that I was involved in, and neither one of them were.
Yeah, I remember with the garden party, so I was president and one of them. I think we all went, didn't we?
Yep.
And was Alex with us that time?
Yes, he was. My grandson.
Yeah, Alex, I have 2 grandnephews now, ladies and gentlemen. I have 2, RJ and Alex.
Yep.
So I have 2 grandnephews now. I'm a great uncle twice.